Hi there. This is Chief. Remember this embarrassing photo of myself and my girlfriend from the last episode? Well, I want to show you something else you can do with it. That was a cutout background. You notice there's no white. It's all white because it's transparent in that preview. Let's go back into Photopea. And this is really cool. Now, I don't know. Maybe you'll think that this is too early 2000s, but bear with me. It's a fun trick. It was kind of popular to do in the 80s and 90s, but boy, it was a lot harder to do because we had plastic overlays and stuff called acetate and rubylith and X-Acto knives that we had. Ooh, that's cool. X-Acto knives that we had to cut around photos with and so forth, and then send it into the plant. And really, it was the printers that ended up having to do this. But you can figure out how to do this yourself now. It's really pretty easy. So I got a black and white photograph. You can start. It's probably easier to start with a color photograph and desaturate a lot of it. Maybe since I want to keep this short, we'll make that the topic of another video. Although I'm about tapped out today. I'm doing 4 in a row. Anyway, so you don't have to start with a black and white photograph. You might want to start with a color photograph and then desaturate or make most of it black and white. And there's great, easy ways. In fact, it has to do with using this history area over here and a thing called the history brush tool. No, I don't know if Photopea has this the same way that Photoshop does. Anyway, um, that's one way to deal with it, is to uncolor certain areas that you want and leave one area colored. But I'm going to start with a black and white photograph here, and what I'm going to do is color something else. Okay, so going to that magic wand tool again, and it's taking some time. Maybe care. Ooh, see, I don't like about it is sometimes you get big areas that you don't want colored. Um, I'm just going to do just the hood and not the whole hoodie sweatshirt. How about that? Maybe that'll be a little bit easier. Okay, so I just have this hood selected, not the whole hoodie sweatshirt. I'm going to go up into image and adjustments and a tool called hue and saturation. And remember, I'm taking a black and white photograph and I'm making it color, part of it. It's called spot color. So I click colorize. Oh, yeah. And one of the things that I want to do is I want to pick my actual sweatshirt, my high school colors, Shadow Mountain in Phoenix, Arizona, or yellow. All right. So I choose that hue. I could make it a little bit darker. Is it going darker? There you go. So it stands out pretty good. This is maize kind of color, like University of Michigan. They're blue and maize. I think Iowa is black and maize. Okay. So now suddenly I have this just a little spot color of yellow. Remember, you can always Control Z to undo stuff. Maybe I will use that magnetic lasso tool that we used last episode to create a cutout background. And I am going to see if it'll go around my head. Big round head, such as it is. And I am choosing not to go around my hair, but whoever your subject is, if it's a kid at your school, if it's yourself, so it's a self-portrait, if it's a teacher or your principal, whatever they're doing, whatever you decide you want to make color or not color. You might have 2 or 3 people in one picture, and you want to have one of them be color and the other 2 be black and white. Your imagination is your only limit for this kind of a thing. Okay. Now, actually, you'd like to use this trick sometimes back when I was doing cartooning for our local town paper. So I could kind of colorize my cartoons instead of having them just be black and white ink, black line. I'm going to go up to image. Again, I am going to go to hue and saturation, right? And again, since I'm starting with a black and white photograph, I'm going to go to colorize. If I was using a color photo, I might do something different. And now you notice, hey, maybe a little too red or too ruddy. So here's a couple of things that you can do. Yeah, I have bloodshot eyes. One is ease off on the saturation. Crazy thing is, this hue, that is kind of like skin tone, right? Right? I mean, compare. I get over there. Could be worse, right? I just like before, I can make it lighter or darker. Unfortunately, it's going to do that with all of the black and the white and all that kind of stuff too. If I wanted to make myself school color purple or blue or the Incredible Hulk, go green or turquoise in this case, right? Uh, you know, you're going to have to mess with, is that green? There's hulky green. How much you want saturated. Now, I think it's kind of effective to have that somewhat natural looking skin tone. So let's go back to colorize and desaturate a little bit so it's a little more natural. Right? Just a skosh lighter, maybe. Okay. Now, you really like that. Some things that I think are useful for that kind of thing are effective are, like, let's say that I had a pen in my mouth like it was a cigar and I wanted to show it was a blue or purple pen. Your school colors, whether they're green or yellow or gold, or ours are purple or blue, you name it. One of the things you might want to do if you get this kind of a spiel coming up here is go to your sponge tool and soften it. Probably don't need to enlarge it too much, and go to desaturate, because I want to see some white in my eye, just that tiny little bit. Maybe I even want to do that with my mustache too. My beard shouldn't look so brownish. It should look more gray. So obviously you can be more careful or go more slowly by zooming in. For any of those kind of things, those kind of maybe what you want to do is, I don't want to make this really long, so maybe I shouldn't necessarily do this, but let's say, and I'm not doing this about anybody else, I'm doing it to myself. Okay, so I'm not making fun of anybody. Definitely don't want to be doing the bullying thing, right? But if I use my magnetic lasso or what have you to select my hair, I could certainly go in and make it, clowny red, like I'm an evil clown. I said before, what are your school colors? Ours are purple. You want to get the school spirit kind of a thing going, right? And the other thing is, I think I can do this fast enough that I won't get into a big long video. Before we did the cutout background, this time I'm selecting the background, but I'm going to colorize it. I'm going to say, ooh, that teal is kind of neat. Maybe I'll do that cyan, and I can come up here and even do kind of a slightly clear background kind of thing. And all of a sudden, it's like magic. It looks a little bit like you hand tinted or hand painted stuff, like 1880s through 1920s photographs that they didn't have color yet. So photographers would use watercolor paint on top of the prints, right? So there you have it. I did a little bit more than just the typical spot color. The point of spot color is one point, and a great one. Maybe I'll put this on our blog. when I get a chance to, since I can't necessarily put this in the comments on YouTube, but of a girl in our school band in a pep rally, and she was blowing a bubble, chewing her gum. So black and white photograph, but pink bubble. Okay, so there's all kinds of great uses for spot color or artificial color. Like I said, maybe later on in the summer when I have a chance, I'll show you how to do this, going from a color picture to making it look black and white with spot color instead of what I did here, taking a black and white picture and adding color to it. But that's it. So that I made 4 videos today. I'm not going to put them all on the blog or text them to my yearbook staff all this one day, but maybe over the course of the next week or so. And then I'm going to be on hiatus on a family vacation late in June. Hopefully I'll come back and do some more of these maybe in July. Till then, have a great summer, and don't stop thinking about what you can do for next year's yearbook.